As I reach the end of a year, I'm often so focused on making plans and setting goals for the following year that I don't really look back on what I've achieved in the year that has just passed. I'm always working on multiple projects and moving so quickly from one to the next that I don't really stop and pat myself on the back for what I had just created. So I thought this video could help me and maybe encourage you to celebrate all your wins of this year, whether that be small or big, and regardless of how many you had. So I've created a lot of different things in different areas this year, and I'm kind of gonna go in order, but I might group some things here and there. I'm gonna start with all the YouTube videos I made this year, which was 24 videos, including this one, and 11 shorts. It's been exactly a year of this new venture, and I've been loving it so much, and I really hope to continue and maybe make more regular videos next year, so stick around if you have been enjoying. So now onto this pile over here. I started the year with a lot of thrift flips. This was just a quick and easy one. It was a jumper that I thrifted and I just turned it into a vest. I also turned the sleeves that I cut off into leg warmers. That same video, I also made a denim patchwork top, but I actually sold that at a market earlier this year, so I don't have that with me. But here's a photo. Another pretty easy one was just turning a dress, a pretty oversized dress, into this denim skirt. I wear this one a lot. I really like the embroidery details and it's really comfy and works well in my wardrobe. The next one I also don't have with me because it was a gift that I made for a friend for her birthday, and it's this crochet vest made using the moss stitch. And I've mentioned before that I have an art business and an online shop, so a couple of products that I made this year were my magazines. So issue 2 I released in January or February, and issue 3 just a few months after that. I don't remember exactly when. But yeah, these are available on my online shop if you want to check it out. The link is in the description. So again, the next one is a gift. It's this baby blanket that I made for my partner's niece. I made it out of a really nice yarn. It was so soft to work with. And now a pretty big one, my scrap yarn jumper. I made a video making this one and it was my most popular video of this year, so maybe a few of you found me through that video. But yeah, this is a very special project to me. I really love this jumper and I'm really proud of it. I also did a decent amount of photography this year. I did some gig photography for some bands that I went to see. I'll include some photos here so you can have a look. That was a fun new thing that I did this year, photographing live gigs. Definitely want to continue doing that. I love going to gigs regularly, so it's a nice way to get in for free as well. Got a lanyard and everything for some of the concerts. The next one I spent months creating, which is an animated lyric video for my band's single that we released late last year. I was originally very ambitious with this video, and I quickly realized I wasn't going to be able to animate the whole thing. So I made it a lyric video, which meant I didn't have to go crazy with the animation and I could have some sections that repeated, but I am still really happy with that video and you can watch that over here if you'd like. I had to make a list, otherwise I wouldn't remember everything. So next I made my necktie skirt, made entirely out of ties that I thrifted and some were donated by my dad. I feel pretty artsy when I wear this one. It's fun to whip out now and again. Oh, continuing on from gig photography, I also did press photography for musicians. That's something that I've done for a couple of years and I really love it. Here are some photos for you to have a look at. One of the artists that I did photography for, I also made a music video for along with my partner Ramsey as part of our production company, as well as a friend of ours, Joel. That was a really special project for Kim, who is from Canada and was just temporarily in Australia. Her band is Too Bad Bricks and I would highly recommend checking them out. They're really awesome. Back to the crochet. The next one is this mohair vest. Very fuzzy, fluffy, colourful, really fun. By the way, I have a video where I style all of my handmade pieces, so you can check that out if you haven't already. Next is another gift that I don't have with me. It's this cotton vest that I made for my friend and bandmate Austin. I've made crochet pieces for all of my bandmates and we often wear them when we perform and for photo shoots and things, just to have a cohesive look. So I went to Tasmania in the first half of the year just a solo trip, and I made this little film that is the best travel video I've made, I reckon. And I used to make a lot. That's what I used to post on YouTube years and years ago. But yeah, I took my cinema camera with me and set up all these shots as I was hiking, and I feel like I captured the magic of that trip. It's such a beautiful place, and it was so beautiful being there on my own and just exploring. And sometime around then, I made this brown and pink vest. I don't use pink a lot in my handmade pieces, but I really like how it looks with brown. I get a lot of wear out of this one. I also made this little crochet bag for my mum just before my parents moved to Portugal. I did go with them just for a couple weeks, and the tiles there really inspired me. It's just so beautiful. There's a lot of blue and white, and I was inspired to make this vest. I pretty much made the whole thing while I was in Portugal. The only issue I have with this one is that I used a really nice kind of yarn, which was a cotton bamboo blend. I really loved working with it, but it is quite heavy, which means that it's starting to sag a little bit. Not too obvious yet, but I just really hope it holds up over the years to come. And then some more thrift flips. I made these jackets and a few other things for a market that I did. I love making granny squares, as you probably know, so it was just really fun to make a few and add them onto jackets and shirts and things. I'll also include these skirts that I thrift flipped. I did these later in the year, but I'll just group them with the second round of thrift flips. And then we have this cushion cover. Just two really big granny squares that I attached together. I'm sure you've seen it in the background of pretty much every video that I've made since I made this. Oh, Cheese has arrived, my cat, just as I said, background of every video, because he too has made an appearance in every video. Now, I spent a semester studying textile design and production in the second half of this year, which was so much fun, such a great experience. So I thought I'd include some of the things I made for that course. It included screen printing, machine knitting, pattern and fashion design. Yeah, it was really inspiring seeing other people's work as well and making some really nice friends. I'm not too sure if I'm going to continue that course though, for a few reasons, but mainly because next year is going to be busy. There's a lot happening with my band, we're going to be going on tour and things, but we'll get onto that a bit later. Next up we have my granny square scarf. Honestly, this is probably one of my favourite makes of this year. It's nothing crazy, but I just really love it and I wear it a lot. We've got this blue fluffy top as well that I made using the yarn from the first jumper that I knitted, which wasn't a very good fit. This one is really comfy and has such a nice shine to it. Oh, I just realised I forgot to include this knitted top that I made earlier in the year. Used a really cool colour changing yarn. And then we've got this whimsy goth skirt made with a combination of this velvety fabric and crochet. I don't use much black, surprisingly, because I do wear a lot of black. I just love making really colourful things when I crochet, but I do want to try making a black and white piece, so I might do that soon. We've also got the top that I'm wearing right now, made out of triple crochets and some scrap yarn. Pretty quick to make, but I really love this one. It's just such a perfect fit. And then we have my first ever crochet commission piece, this blue button-up shirt. It was really slow making this one because I had a lot going on around the time that I was commissioned, but we got there and I'm super happy with the end result. Okay, so now we have a really big one, and that is my band's debut album. We did a crowdfunding campaign at the end of last year, and we were so grateful to receive a lot of support, and so we were able to record at an amazing studio. We did 3 days of live tracking 12 songs. That was definitely a highlight of this year. And then we had 4 days over a few weeks of overdubs. I think I remember writing 2 of the songs this year, but as a band we were mostly working on songs that we had already started and just refined and practiced for the live recording. But our band, which is called Keeper, by the way, is a very audio-visual project because I and my bandmates really love combining art forms. So our album is a concept album and it has a story that takes place in a fictional world that I created. So each of the songs relate to a different location on the map of this world, and a different part of the story. So to really convey that, I actually wrote a short story which we will self-publish into a book that you can buy with the album. And this story was a really, really big part of this year, to be honest. I spent months and months working on it, constantly rewriting, reworking. Because it was my first piece of fiction, I had so much to learn. I really spent a lot of this year researching and learning about storytelling and becoming a better writer. And only recently did I actually finalize the plot, and I spent about 2 weeks just writing from morning to night. It was such a journey, and the story really has such a special place in my heart. I really poured my heart and soul into it. On top of the music, the concept and the story, there's also a lot of artwork, so that's something I worked on this year as well. And yeah, the album will be coming out early next year, so keep an eye out for that. I'll link my band's Instagram below, and you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, all the platforms. I also made this guitar strap, just added granny squares onto the strap that I already had. So in October, on my birthday, Ramsey and I went on a little trip to New Zealand. We did a lot of hiking. We visited some family and old friends because I grew up in Auckland. And I got some really great film photos out of that. Ramsey gifted me a film camera for my birthday after I broke my very treasured one last year. I also made another little film of that trip, which is also on my channel. So for Christmas, I made some coasters as gifts, as well as these flower bookmarks that were inspired by Jenna's video. We're right at the end now. We've got this granny square top, my most recently crocheted project, made out of 94 little granny squares. Super happy with this top. By the way, Cheese is just sitting on the chair opposite me, so I feel like I'm showing him all my creations of the year. And finally, the last thing that I made this year that I can think of is a music video made with Ramsey for my band. It's not actually finished yet, but we've shot all the footage. I made a bunch of cardboard set pieces, and it was all filmed in our place right here. I'm currently doing a bunch of animation for it, so that's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, making it to the end. As you can see, I do a lot of different things, and I'm super grateful to be able to do what I love for work. I also want this video to be reassurance for anyone out there that feels like they have so many interests and have to narrow down. You don't need to. You can do it all. I really believe being a multidisciplinary artist is incredible and fulfilling and a really amazing way to express yourself and expand your creativity. It's really a gift to be drawn to so many things and be inspired by so much, and I find so much delight in just following every creative whim. I just want to make my life a work of art and push my creative boundaries, experiment, explore, and somehow just create everything. And you can do it too. Happy New Year. I really hope 2024 is a special one. Thank you so much for all of your support this year. I've really been blown away by the kindness of your comments and that so many of you are interested in what I make. I really just want to be friends with all of you and talk about crafts and fashion and creativity and make stuff together. So yeah, you'll be seeing plenty of me next year, and hopefully I will be seeing you as well. Thanks so much. See you next time.